What is going on, guys and girls? It's the Short Bear. Today was just an amazing day. I broke one of my records, right? So I've got a new top 5 trading day, closing every single trade today. And I'm gonna show you everything that I did, everything that I saw during the day that led up to this just massive, amazing day. I'm not the only one that profited just hugely from today. All right, members are breaking the records. Just overall, just a super, super nice day. A lot of opportunities, a lot just of volatility all across the board, right? That just all came because of SES, right? The market heat up again, and yeah, that led to such nice opportunities. So the first trade I'm going to talk about is IPWR. All right, this one was a bit tricky. All right, because of its history, I underestimated it quite a lot in the morning, but it ended up being a really, really nice and big trade. So first of all, let's talk about daily, right? IPWR, just look at this chart, right? Just downtrending, 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 just putting in and new bag holders, trapping longs. Um, and as you can see, we were downtrending, right? At all-time lows here at $2. And if you look at the last runs, right? Every single time we really run big, right? But we always give back the gains. So right here, give back, right here, giving back. Right here, gave back 50%. Right here, held a bit more this time. And right here, right? So every time we spike, we tend to give back the gains. I also checked the gap stats on this one. And I saw that the previous runs, right, are not really gapping up. All right, so this one gapping up just a bit, this one just a bit as well, and this one just a bit, right? So we're never really gapping up big. So $4 to 520, not much, right? And the difference between the last times and today was the gap first, and the second thing was that on those runs, right? So on this one here and on this one here, didn't have really a lot of back holders, right? So this was the first run. We had some volume, and as you can see, we did right around 1 million volume, which isn't much, right? And right here, we did some more volume this time, right around 2.8 million, right? So when we were gapping up this time, right, we don't have a lot of back holders and not a lot of history during the previous year where we had volume and longs really got bagged. But starting from this one, from this run right here, or let's say this one, right? So today we had the back holders from this run, the back holders from these runs right here, and at the same time we had some dilution on this thing. So I knew right away this is a ticker I really want to play. At the same time, we had some other runners, right? So the previous runs, maybe we didn't have quite as much runners. I'm nearly 100% sure. But this time, this ticker pre-market didn't do a lot of volume, so less people watching it, right? Less crowded as the other plays. So that's why I really wanted to play this one. So what did I do? Why did I do it? So I knew I wanted a short, right? And I wanted to wait for a pop. So at the open, as you can see right here, we popped up right away over the resistance, but kind of, I saw some big offers here pushing it down. So I shorted right away, as you can see, at 450, right? It came back all the way to basically the pre-market low, so the last low of the pre-market, acting as support. And as we bounced up here, I thought we would bounce up, just as you can see, not much volume, right? Not much volume on that pop, and just roll over. But we started reclaiming, and I wanted to give it a bit more room. I wanted to add more just later, because usually the tickers that we saw in the previous few weeks just popped up, kind of traded for a few seconds, a few minutes here, and then rolled over. But as you can see, we really started going, right? So I had to stop out at $5. That was my ultimate stop. And as soon as we broke, well, we didn't really break, right? So we broke, couldn't make it, couldn't make it, couldn't make it. So I started in with my starter again, and as you can see, I got stopped out at the high of day. This is to say, we're not perfect as traders, right? There's rarely will you see a trader consistently just nailing the top, nailing the top, nailing the top, right? And you really don't need it to be profitable. So just keep that in mind, right? As soon as we popped up, we just came back down hard, right? And I thought, all right, we're gonna have a pullback, and usually the second pullback is the one that will basically move it down, right? And at the same time, I knew, all right, bag holders, and a lot of attention from other tickers that were running, right? So got in right here a bit bigger this time because we were so overextended, and we just moved back down all the way to the lows, right? I waited for the next pop to really load up on my position because at that time, so the previous ones, my average was pretty good. So the first one, as I said, the open is pretty volatile, so I don't like to be in too much. I like to have a sizable position, but I want room to add, right? And I want to do that at really lower prices so that I'm sure that it won't get to my stop or I will have time to cover. So the first time around got stopped down. I had some size, right? So nice fat loser at first, but all relative, right? So I knew, all right, this loser, I'm just gonna take it. It's all right. I've got a lot of time today. We got a lot of runners, but it's not the same size that I'm gonna use on something that really starts fading and build a new base, basically. So as soon as we popped up here, just heavy, right? And as you can see, the volume wasn't quite as big as the first time, not even the open. So right there gave me a lot of confidence. We bagged a lot of longs in this move here, so I added full size. And after that, pretty much I knew exactly what to do, so I wanted to hold it for the close, right? Um, at that time, we couldn't get any more shares during the day, right? So that's why we faded so nicely and didn't kind of do shenanigans because the locates were really hard to get. During the midday here, as you can see, we started consolidating, right? We started consolidating in this range in between 270-ish and $3. Popped up, tried breaking it multiple times, couldn't make it. And when I saw a big order pop up at 280, I know, right, it's probably a big pop, but the problem was not that. The problem was since kind of 12, um, we started getting more locates, right? I could locate all this time, so I knew the odds are not as good anymore, right? So if the volume is fading, but it's only shorts hitting it because they're FOMOing in, they're gonna probably get squeezed at some point. So that's why when I saw that, I started covering, right? It took off my order, tested 80. We even got the whole order out, but it kind of refreshed right away. So I really didn't want to be in anymore. The odds were against me, right? So my stop at that point was right here at 380, which I then moved down to 360. And I had basically one half 360 and the rest here at 306. So at 306, right, what is my target? My target ultimately was 260, which we reached after that. But at that point, 280, right, I've got a 20-cent profit target, and I've got basically, a 20-cent stop, right? So 1-to-1 risk ratio, and the odds of a bounce of shenanigans at the end of the day. I just didn't want to be in this trade anymore. The odds were against me, so I just closed the trade. ENGO was the second ticker I traded today. On this one, I did make mistakes, right? So first of all, my platform kind of froze in the morning. I had a bounce long, just small size there, and I had to close it right away. That really wasn't super nice at the start of the day. That was my second trade pre-market, and that kind of half BNGO was the second ticker I traded today. This one ended up being a really nice winner, but after some problems. So let's just put the chart at the side, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I saw, right? So first of all, we popped up from 60 cent today, right? 60 cent. And we started moving, right? We started moving up towards this $3 area, and I really wanted locates on this one. You need to understand that because that really played into the whole kind of trading mindset I had on this one and what changed with time. So we started being super heavy, right? So right here we crashed down. I couldn't get locates. I triggered the locate button the whole morning to get the locates, and I couldn't get any. So we started being super heavy, and we even here, right? Even in this 120 area, we were up 100%, right? So I really wanted a short, but I wanted a nice short with a nice risk reward, and that's what I got right here. So we started testing the lows, popping up right here, right? And what I wanted is the pop just over the resistance, risking off this level at 140. So I started shorting, kind of trying the bids basically, and started covering here. And after that, we started halting, right? We started halting, and what happened there is this ticker was really hard to trade. So what we did is we always popped up, right? We popped up, looked super strong, and then just all the bids got just eaten up, right? We just started selling. So that's where I started shorting, as you can see right here. And after that, after the second hold right here, we started moving down really heavily. So I started shorting here, thinking we would get into another hold and then move down. But as you can see, we didn't make that. We didn't do that, and we started moving up, halting again. I wanted to exit right here. My stop was basically the high of this candle at 175. I had some bigger size after that ad. And as soon as we unhalted, I tried closing it, and I got out just before the halt, right? So that was the first level. And after that, I just kind of left it alone for a bit because I wanted to see how far we could make it, how big the volume was, and so on and so on. And I started to understand what kind of ticker this was, right? If you want to compare this ticker to another one, I would suggest looking at NBY. It's a ticker that traded nearly the same way as this one. And what we did is, what I wanted is, I knew NBY, what it did is basically it shot up, got parabolic, and the first time we closed red, after the parabolic, we opened up far lower, right? So that's what I wanted to see. So I started shorting right in here, and I added on the next one, and we halted down, which is exactly what I wanted. But after indicating an open at 220, we started opening at exactly the same price and moved up towards the resistance. So I took it off right there because I didn't want to be stuck in a hold. I wanted to keep my risk tight because I had some size from there. And just after I closed it, it became really heavy. So I started shorting again, full size, and I added right in here, right? So I added here and here just before the hold, and we gapped down, right? We gapped down, closed right away, hold down, and after that close, so open and crash down more into the 190s, as you can see right here, right? My target, I wanted to cover, and I tried covering some at 190 and 180. I didn't get anything, and we halted up right away. That really kind of not really pissed me off because I really wanted to kind of let it test. So after I couldn't get my fill, basically, I wanted it to let it test and then move back down. As you can see, it gapped up pretty massively, right? So it gapped up from 217 to like 240 right away, or 240, moved down and moved back up, right back up to my average. So I just took it up there because it happened so quickly, right? I wanted weakness, and it happened so quickly that I quickly realized, all right, shorts are going to be trapped again, and we're going to probably move up again. So right there, after that, after I saw that, we moved up, and I thought about NBY, right? So NBY, what it did is it had that move, consolidated a bit, and then continued up. And on this one, I wanted the same thing, but we moved up right away. So I thought, all right, this is even stronger than NBY. So I started building along, as you can see, I had some entries. Let me try to show you a bit more in detail. As you can see here, I started long, so I got out, started long, trimmed a bit, closed so got back in my trim, closed everything as we were heavy, I didn't want to be stuck in a halt. But after the on-halt, we didn't gap down. We didn't gap down, and we supported that 230 level. So I got long again, got long at 238. That was my average. And we started grinding. This time I really liked it because we didn't halt right away. We grinded, got some shorts in, and moved back to the resistance, as you can see right here, right? We grinded, moved back up, slashing back up, moved back up, and then moved down, rubber band, moved down, rubber band, moved down, rubber band, again, and again. And then we halted. And from there, I knew, all right, it's going to go parabolic, probably breaking the pre-market highs, breaking those highs, and we're going to really trap some shorts. Shorts don't have that much time. When we on halt, we are basically back into a hold after a few seconds, and we need to work out the shorts first, right? And I had some nice size, right? The volume was nice on this one. really nice. So as you can see right here, 60,000 shares traded in that 1 minute. I had no big problem getting filled what I wanted. And after that, we started halting up, halting up, halting up. And I knew this one, like on NBY, when it goes super parabolic, usually it has one halt to the downside, and after that it just gaps down and gaps down again, right? So on this one, traded it a bit more conservatively. I wanted to see the open after the halt and judge from there, right? And on this one, we started opening and we moved down. So on that one, I just closed it because I didn't want to be stuck in a hold down basically and give back all my profits. And as you can see, I longed at 238 and I covered everything at in the 380s, right? So 50% right around there. So 40% profit there, and it was really nice. From there on, I just completely left it alone. I didn't want to have anything to do with it because I knew it's probably going to be just choppy, right? I wanted a big parabolic, and that's what I got. After that, the last ticker I traded today was VIVE, and this one I traded just really, really nicely, right? I know this ticker, I checked the data, right? And on this one, what you need to know is, let's see here, can I get the data? Oh, wrong ticker, sorry. On this one, I checked out the data, right? And my data told me VEVE gapped up 13 times during the last 5 years, and I think 11 times out of those 13s, we moved down and we closed red. So on this one, I tried getting located so hard, and I just couldn't get any in the morning. As you can see, the first time I played it was yesterday. Yesterday, we started moving right here, right, what looked super overextended yesterday, and we moved back down on the VWAP at long the bottom ticket basically at 260, and I sold everything into a push, into the push to the high up day level. So 4 p.m. 7 a.m. Oh, it's actually not even on there, it's right here. So right here we started moving up, we pulled back to 460, I longed it and I closed it right around here. I wanted to get back in, right? I wanted a gap up, I wanted to play it and to swing it, but I couldn't get it because I wanted an entry under 5 and we supported 5. So after that, started grinding, and this morning we gapped up. So I wanted a setup, I knew it right away, and I wanted it short first. So I tried shorting right in here at 750, that was the area I wanted. The plan was to cover some at 650. In hindsight, I don't know if I would have covered because it looked really weak, but as soon as we recovered VWAP, we held VWAP on some volume, and we started moving back up towards the highs, right? Then we pulled back to VWAP again, and we supported it. So it took like 10 minutes to get back to VWAP and just 2 minutes to get back to the highs here. And there were some bids, some offers, I mean, at 750, right? The big levels, resistance, half number. And as soon as we tested them, I got in everything I could, right? So right here, as you can see, I got in. And after that, it was just a question of basically playing the tape, right? I was watching the tape, and we popped up right away, really, really nicely. I let it come back to retest the new support, which was previously resistance, and we started moving up, right? We started moving up, got a small pullback here. We had some problems first breaking this 860 level, so I just covered, I sold 1.5, and after that we just, we went parabolic right away to this 10 level, right? And we just moved from 370. What you need to know about this ticker is they are looking to offer, right? They are looking to do an offering really soon. So I assume tomorrow morning or within the next week or two, right around there. And for me, that is a big sign of insiders or the manipulators are going to take advantage of it to unload shares, right? So that's why I sold right away. We went parabolic. I knew about fundamentals and I knew I wanted this one short. So I closed my position. Really, really nice win to start the day. And as I told you yesterday, after hours, I traded it as well. So this one, combining the pre-market and the after hours, just really, 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 really nice winning. Opened, just crashed down, right? I had no locates, no way really to get in. But during the midday, right, we started reclaiming the VWAP again. So we started doing that, And we supported, tried breaking out, slammed back, tried breaking out, slammed back, and halted here, right? So after that, that was still at that area, right? The lows didn't get breached here. We were still holding that new support, which was previously resistance. And even at the open, right, people sold into it and then it got bought back up. But this time we couldn't really make it to the highs anymore, right? We couldn't even make it to that first high, which was right here. We kind of made it here, pulled back, tried breaking out, slammed back, and this time we had lower volume. So if you look at those spikes, you can see that the volume was pretty substantial. But after that, just nothing, right? Nothing, 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 and I could get the locates, finally, right? So right here, as we slammed and started reclaiming, so started bouncing just back to this into this range to the previous resistance level, which was basically here. So support, right here, the support becomes resistance. Tried breaking out, couldn't make it, stand back. I shorted here, risking this $9 hold level, which gave me right around a 10-cent stop, right? Worked right away. The minute I got in, cracked, then tried bouncing, cracked, bouncing, cracked, and then we just moved down, just huge move down, and from there, and all right, the longs from the market are now back. The big volume, right, that we see right here in this range is now underwater. So we've got the dilution part, we've got the history part, we've got the longs from the morning from the pre-market, all right, now back. We've got the longs from above the VWAP bag, and from there, it's basically an easy hold, right? You just trade off the data. So after that, move down, move down, move down, and tested the lows here, but I wanted it lower, right? So as soon as we bounced here, I just, I gave it some time to breathe. We tried breaking over this level, as you can see here, but the volume was just not there, right? The volume was not there. There were not many shorts that I could get, and we slammed back right here. We slammed back, tried breaking out, tried, just slam back, right? We try, there's a wall, we try, there's a wall. So every single time we make it to that wall and we don't make it, more longs get back, right? It gets heavier and heavier. And as soon as I saw it kind of curl up, so the few first times we made it to this resistance level, but right here, as you can see, we just couldn't make it. I added, all right, I got some more shares, and we cracked right away. We cracked, but then we reclaimed, right? We reclaimed and then tried, and then made it back down, and we just couldn't break. So we broke this level, this previous support, which was established right here and right there, but we couldn't make it. And we started kind of grinding, couldn't make it, more bids, and the offers started to get retested. So I just took it off, right? Took it off to take my nice winner, or I added here and I covered there, and we made it all the way back towards $8. After that, waited, and what happened next? That pissed me off because I was looking at it right here, right? We tried pushing, couldn't make it. Tried pushing, couldn't make it. Tried pushing, couldn't make it. And I knew the odds told me that we would get a new low of day, right? So so here the bid was at 67, and as soon as I hit it, right, it moved down and it filled me all the way down here at 720-ish. So from there, I knew, all right, I'm in this trade. I have two um, possibilities basically, right? So I can cover right away, or I can hold it. And I decided to hold it. Why did I do that? Because I knew the odds of rolling over to a new low of day would be in my favor, right? The low of day is $6. My entry is at 723. That's where I got filled, and my stop was basically at that time then 80, right? So I've got basically a 60-cent stop to make, you know, $1.20, so 2 to 1. That was good enough for me, but I still wanted to play off of the tape, right? So as soon as we tried breaking down here, we reclaimed, broke down, reclaimed, and we kind of held the support. And then I noticed that more and more locates became available. So as soon as we tried pushing and made it over this 720 level, after trying to break down and couldn't make it, I took it off at first, slammed back down, I entered back, and after that, still the same risk level. Then we got to spike, right? Spike here, but I knew we are really likely to just have a liquidity event, meaning we're going to take the shorts, right, spike it over the resistance and slam it back down into the cover order, basically, to be able to sell more shares. And after that, just hold it down, right? hold it down, and then I just held it, bounce, 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 and I just took it off. And I took it off because we had this support area, right, at $6. We're moving into this area kind of overextended, parabolic to the downside basically. And because of the locate situation, right, because locates became available, I thought that we might bounce, right? So everyone's looking for that new love day. We tried making it down, so some tried to cover, and then people start to panic, up, 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 and shorts basically push it back up. As you can see, it faded into the close, data prevailed, and that's how we end the day, right? So that's it for today. If you want to learn more about my whole strategy, how I work the filings, how I work with the technicals, and how I manage my risk, join Matters Money. That is where I moderate every single day. That's where I'm on mic, and that's where I share most of my knowledge. Please hit the like button and don't hesitate to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.